In this video we'll have a look at mounting one of the 1/4 horsepower motors, sometimes called marathon motors, or this is a GE model, to the TAIG mini lathe. Now this is quite a neat solution that doesn't use the standard board, but in fact uses a bit of plate steel. So on the underside of this is 4 holes for the mounting of the lathe, 2 for the mounting of these rubber stops, and you can just use a standard door stop for those. With a second piece of plate, just looks like this. We've got 2 holes at the back and 4 for the securing of the motor itself through here. So I'll show you how that fits together now. All I've done now is just mount the lathe with 2 M6 bolts and nylocks just to stop it coming unloose if there's any vibration. And the final step is to stick this plate on, complete with the tensioning screw by the 2 holes onto the rubber mounts. I'm not actually going to screw this down because if there's any vibration for the motor, then it's going to transmit it to the bed and possibly induce some chatter on this spindle. I'm not overly concerned about not bolting it down, mainly because this motor is so heavy. That's it located. The next stage is to put the belt on, and as I said before, it's a bit of a two-sided affair. It's got a teeth on one side and a V on the other, so obviously we'll put the V on these pulleys, and if it's anything like the pillar drills that I've seen in the past, you just locate it on one side and rotate it there in the middle. I'm just going to check that belt's running straight. Seems to be. That's just about mid-range. It's going to be fine. Now, I haven't looked at the wiring of this motor. I'll do that in a separate video. But it's gone through a box with an on-off and then a 2 position, which is going to activate different windings, giving 2 different speeds. And according to the plate, that's a 950 RPM and a 1425. So without a tachometer, I'm just going to have to take a visual on that to work out which speed is which. That's speed 1. Speed 2 is obviously the faster side, so we've got the fast side at the bottom, so we'll try and turn some material for a quick test turn. Now I have got a little bit of 6mm carbide tooling on order. I'm going to give that a go in a separate video. At the moment we've just got this little grooving tool, which the chap who had it before me has installed. He shimmed it presumably to height. I'm not going to change anything just for the sake of a test. Just want to see how this thing cuts. And I've got a little bit of mild steel, which I'm going to stick in the chuck now. 3-jaw scroll chuck, which you can open up like so. Stock in the middle. The actual bore through the spindle is absolutely tiny, so something like this can just about fit in the middle, but it's certainly not going into the headstock. I believe they do a 5C variant, which goes up to like what, 1/2 inch or whatever it is. And tightening is interesting. There's a couple of Tommy bars. Basically you just push against just to tighten it up, which doesn't feel particularly positive, but presumably does the job. So we'll switch her on. I'll try not to get in the way of the camera. I will just try and turn this little nub off. It's probably about 5mm in diameter, I would have thought. So I'll take some light cuts because I don't know how it's going to behave. I'll take it in the faster of the 2 modes, though I don't exactly know which. Right, I'm going to lock the carriage off. So this machine's going to need all the help it can get. What is remarkable is just how quiet it is actually. And I'm going to take a small cut. Full height's wrong, speed's wrong, no spray or coolant, so it's less than ideal conditions. There we go, it's locked. It's a lot happier now taking a smaller cut. So I'm reasonably happy with that, to be honest. The tool geometry is all wrong. The thing's not bolted down to the table. Well, I'm not talking about the motor, I'm talking the actual board. I think the speed's almost certainly wrong. Hey, but other than that, Perfect cutting conditions. Oh no, that is machining fairly well actually. And then we're getting the chatter as we're coming to the middle. I think that's what's happening there, is it's riding up the side, so I'm just going to zoom in on that. So to be fair to the little machine, it's just riding up the side of this profile, so that's causing the chatter. Like I said, I'm not even going to say it's badly set up, it's just simply not set up. It's only a quick test, but you know, the small cut seems to have worked. So let's have a look at the results. You know, it's actually not a bad finish on the outside here, and then of course we went to Idiot Town where it's just riding up the corner here, and it's starting to shake around a little bit. You've got some of those little vibration marks, but you know, I'm going to set this up properly over the weekend and I'll have a look back. So check back if you've got any tips for me other than the obvious, like, you know, use some kind of sensible tools and setup. I will be interested to hear them. There's some carbide in the post, so we're going to give that a bit of a go, and we'll see how we get on. So if you do like these videos, you want to see more of the TAIG lathe, then subscribe, like and comment, and we'll see you in the next video.